Okay. Hello, everyone. Wow. Woo. Yes. Hello, Janine, Kathy, Harvey, Drew, Gwendolyn, Jan, Elizabeth, Cody, Jessica, Damaris, Kurt. Whew. Yeah, that was. I was all ready to start the stream and go to it, and it's like, okay, ready to start, and it came up with a message. Video encoder not available, and I'm like, what? I mean, I hadn't changed any settings since last week, so it's kind of like, wait a minute. And then I realized OBS did have an update, and that's the software I use to stream, for those who don't know that. And yeah, I realized every once in a while you'll get an update, and it will require a newer driver, a newer video driver, to be able to encode real time the way I have it set up. So yes, I had to shut down everything, install a new video driver, yay NVIDIA, and reboot, and then put it back on. So yeah, I mean, it's not really an easy way to test that. I probably should start. There are a few ways I can do a local stream that only I can see, and maybe I should start doing that every week as a test. Kind of plan something. Because yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just an OBS update without. I decided I'd get the show going as opposed to do research to figure out exactly what the cause was. So yeah, it was definitely strange, definitely strange. But thanks for showing up and hanging around and not giving up on me tonight. Whew. Yeah, I had a lot of information planned for the show tonight. So yeah, that's Now I'm wondering if I should just kind of hang out and talk for a while and put off all the deep content for next week, or or what? Because I don't think I can get them. I was worried about getting it all in 30 minutes, and already I've only got 15 if I stick to my regular schedule. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. And thanks, Harvey. Back in the saddle again. Yay. So yes. Oh, hey. Tomorrow's Gwendolyn's birthday. Well, excellent. Happy birthday early to Gwendolyn. Hey, a pleasure. So yeah, I'll send you. I'll definitely send you a private message tomorrow. But just for now, hey, happy birthday. So yes, everybody wish Gwendolyn a happy birthday, and however you can. Yes, and Drew, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to throw the schedule out the window, and ahoy to Adam. Yes. Oh, wow. Some first-time viewers? Wow, of course. First-time viewer on the day that I have a video problem and I start the show 15 minutes late. Never fails. Never fails. So, yes. Yes. That is the way that it goes. Oh, well, that's... We try. Now, I guess I'll go with a little bit of the basic news. First off, happy President's Day. Of course, exactly what it's called today is variable depending on what state you're in, so that's always fun. But yeah. But that's the way it goes. Now, it's pretty cool because it is, a 3-day weekend for some people. I mean, it is usually a holiday for people. And so you get that 3-day weekend, which is always nice. Gotta love that for Faire. And oh man, and Janine has a saying from paleontology: "The plan is what the plan does." Right. Yeah. No matter what Jurassic Park tells you, history's history. You can't really change it. So I got it. Oh, and yeah, some people still have to work, of course, on President's Day. But, some fairs actually do try to do those 3-day weekends and make it a thing. So that's always fun. You got to love that when you can. Whew. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, my gosh. Friday before Labor Day off to celebrate Pratic Henry's birthday. I don't think that would go over as well in every state, to be honest. And, the Congress nationally is a bit fickle. No, it's true. It is. Oh, mercy, mercy. Yes, that is very true, Jessica. But yeah, I did test a few things, and it actually involved video, but I know it didn't have anything to do with this because it was not that kind of thing. It was an input that would have had nothing to do with encoding. It's just an input for the video signal for my camera. And in the past, I guess I've told you I've been upgrading my my software setup on OBS, and in the background, it's still the same it has been for a while, with a few little tweaks here and there. But I'm still kind of getting a new setup together. I almost every week I think I could maybe get it done, but I keep thinking of new things. And what I did was I got a new kind of a new encoder. Well, kind of encoder. It translates the HDMI out from my camera, my DSLR camera, into the computer through a USB port. And I used to get the old basic one. This is only like about $15 that I got a year and a half ago when I got the DSLR, because I bought a DSLR camera during the pandemic, and I thought we're gonna go cheap on the on the plug for this. But it was interesting. It worked really well for me. I mean, I tweaked the color and everything in post in OBS, and it worked well. Well, a new EVGA device. Well, I'll give you the box. It's a XR1 Lite, and it. Oh my God! I tried it out, and I didn't try it out tonight because I didn't want there to be a problem with my video. Yeah, so that's yeah. Thank you. That's that kind of Murphy's Law thing, but I'm going to test it some more and then set it up. But really, this thing, I tried it raw into just into a browser just to see what the video feed looked like. It looked as good as this, I think better, without any tweaks on the color correction or anything. I mean, it translates everything so well. So I'm really happy about that. I know, I'm just giving news, Jan. That's all. So, yeah. But yeah, that was... but I'm sure that didn't have anything to do with it. I'm pretty sure it was just a NVIDIA driver. And when I put it on, that took care of the problem today. But oh well. So yeah, it has been an interesting fair time. I'm still getting ready for Sherwood Forest Fair, and that will be coming up in a couple of weeks, and I'm really looking forward to that because that is always 8 weeks of pure fun. And I'm also going to be at the school days. They're having a school days thing there, and they asked me to be a part of that, so that should be interesting. I know it's a challenge because what do I do for school days for kids when I mainly play a recorder? I don't know if they'll relate, but I'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Give it my best shot. But yeah, that's looking... yeah, and don't worry, Kurt. I will be doing fairs for this weekend. I will get that in. I promise. Okay. In fact, I should probably just go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's just jump on that. And I don't know if this will work. Let me see, because I'm skipping a bunch of stuff. Yeah, let's go over here, and there we go. Okay, so we have the fairs for this weekend, which look pretty cool. A little more than last time, and a couple of interesting ones that I hadn't heard of before that are new, and that's kind of cool, at least new to me. We have the standard. Let's just jump over to the full screen so you can really take a look. And we have in California, we have an interesting one. This is the Riverside Dickens Festival, and I kind of find it interesting that there's a Dickens Festival that far removed from Christmas, but hey, California is definitely strange with the weather, so I'm sure they have their reasons. This is probably their coldest month, so I kind of get that. So yeah, definitely something to check out. It definitely interesting. In Arizona, we have the Arizona Renaissance Festival that's still going on. One of the big ones, always fun. And then down in Florida, we still have the two fairs that have been going on the last few weeks. The Florida Renaissance Festival in Deerfield Beach and the Bay City Renaissance Festival in Dade City. So that is really cool. Then up in up in Michigan, no, yeah, way up north. And at this time of year, it's pretty cool. We have the Michigan Nordic Fire Festival. That's going on from Friday through Sunday. So once again, those Nordic festivals, those Viking festivals, Vikings, which are such a popular theme nowadays. It's interesting to look at the history of Faire as the history of different styles, whether it's Vikings or pirates. Thank you, Jack Sparrow, or Celtic. Thank you, Riverdance, and just going back through the years for all of those different interests. But yeah, a lot of Viking festivals going on these days. So that is a new one, something to check out if you're way up north. And last but not least, the Hattiesburg Zoo Renaissance Festival. I know. Yes, it's in a zoo. It's located at the Hattiesburg Zoo. So Hattiesburg, Mississippi. That's one I've never heard of, having a Ren Fair at a zoo. I've never thought of that. I don't know. I mean, you do have animals normally at Ren Fair, so having those already there is, I get it. I mean, that can be interesting, but that's definitely not what I would have expected. Yeah, right? Fair and lots of animals. That is very right. And yeah, I mean, I see some of you are kind of like, yeah, that's kind of cool, right? I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Oh, pretty wild. Oh man, wild animals, true. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of wondering what that's going to be like, and I'm definitely going to check on that and get back to you about any response or feedback or pictures I can, because that is just that is interesting. That is interesting. Oh, and I think I upset Jessica. Oh wow, it has the same. I did never notice that would the chat would go on both, because I set it up on the interesting on that. I'll keep that in mind in the future, that's going to go on both. Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah. So yes. Yeah. The true. Norse, Viking. I know it's a little. Yeah, that's not fair, but generally, Viking is the trend, and it manifests itself in many different ways. Oh, and Cassie's saying that worked at one they were raising money for a zoo. So I mean, it makes sense in a way, but that's fascinating. So like I said, I will check into that, and I will get back to you with any pictures or anything I can find, because this is interesting. It's either going to be really cool or I think really bad. Because it has a lot of possibilities, but will they do it right? Because I think it also has a lot of limitations. I mean, like for instance, as a musician, I would seriously worry about how much noise I can make with all the animals around, because I wouldn't want to hurt their ears, disrupt them, cause them stress. I love the recorder. It's a little high pitched. So yeah, I just kind of wonder how all that's being taken care of. And okay, understood, Jessica, just a personal beef. And you're not wrong. So I totally understand. But yeah, it is kind of interesting. Yeah, Curtis, yeah, bagpipes. Yes, that is another concern. I don't know. Some of the animals might just start calling back to it and think that it's a kin. But yeah. Okay, now you're just getting ridiculous. I'm just saying. No, I could never see that. Okay, yeah, I could see that happening at some fairs, but I would hope they wouldn't do that at a zoo. Really. Yeah. But that would be interesting. That would be interesting. Well, as it's President's Day and everything, I'm going to get this in under the wire if I can. Let's jump over to 7 reasons. And 7 reasons, well, the idea is 7 reasons 3-day weekends are good for Faire. Now, Alicia threw out the idea of 7 reasons 3-day weekends don't suck. But I wanted to put more of a positive spin to it. So 7 reasons 3-day weekends are good for Faire. And Yeah, I mean, I really think they are and can be if you look at it the right way. Sometimes after a long time at Faire during a season and there's a 3-day weekend towards the end of it and you're kind of wiped at that point, it can be rough, but I think they can be really good. So the seventh reason that a 3-day weekend can be really good for Faire is it makes camping seem more worth it. I mean, I have seen people come into Faire Saturday morning, kind of do a rough camp setup, camp that night on Saturday night, Sunday morning, go ahead and strike the camp. And then they finish striking and head out on Sunday right after Faire, and they're gone. And that just seems so stressful to me to try to get all of that done. I don't like that. Now, I don't think not many people do it that way, but I've seen it. But even going just Friday night and Saturday night, it still just doesn't seem like a lot. So getting those 3 nights to camp, I think it just really relieves a lot of that stress, and you get to set things up with an idea of it being a long haul. And that's just really, really good. Okay, I just got the mental image and I had to put that up. So yes, that is funny. Okay, number 6. The sixth reason why a 3-day weekend is good for Faire. It's an extra opportunity to promote the Faire. I mean, for the management, the owners, promoting a Faire can be tough. You do themed weekends and you do all this stuff, but a 3-day weekend, I mean, hey, if you're a patron looking at Faire, I mean, what are you going to go to? You're thinking about a whole weekend. You're going to go to 3-day weekend, or you're going to go the 2-day. 3-day has advantages, so it's an opportunity to set a weekend apart and make it more appealing to people, and that can be good because it's not easy to promote fairs, and fairs, especially the young ones, can really struggle to make a name for themselves, to survive. So anything that can help them, always a good thing. Always a good thing. Number 5, more Faire for patrons. I mean, like I said, it's like, are you going to go for 3 weekends? I mean, it's Faire. It's, especially with the large fairs, it is hard to see everything at Faire, right? I mean, very hard, very difficult. You go into a fair and you spend a lot of time looking at shops. You're not, and look at every shop and check it out. You're not going to see all the shows. If you see all the shows, you're not going to see all the shops. I mean, at smaller fairs, you can get away with that. Large fairs, on one weekend, I just don't think you can see everything. It's pretty much impossible. You certainly can't try all the food, or try at least a good mix of the food. But 3 days, even the large fairs, I think you can give it a decent shot. So it really helps if that's the only weekend you're going to get to go see Faire at that particular fair. Make it worthwhile. So it's very nice. And more money for those who work there. Well, you get the performers. You have that extra day of pay and tips and sales. You're a booth owner or somebody working there, you get more pay for that. And, when you work a fair, for those of you who haven't done it, you don't look at it as how well you do that day. You look at it as how well you do that season. You look at a fair and say, this is, in 8 weekends, this is what I made. And you divide that by per month or whatever. And that's what you made. You average it out because you're going to have the rain weekends, you're going to have the sunny weekends. You can't look at one day as a victory or a defeat. And so those extra days, they can add up, and it is nice. It is very, very nice. And I know Minnesota and Texas Renaissance Festival are 2 of those that are maybe pushing that rule where maybe you could see everything in 3 days. I think you could give it a try. I think there's a strategy you could employ where you could really give it a serious shot and see most everything in 3 days. There's no way you could do it in 2. But you couldn't go in blind. You'd have to have somebody who knew the fair and would be like a tour guide. Because, without that, you're right. I totally say you couldn't do it. Okay, number 3. Opportunities for special events. I mean, like for instance, on Easter weekend and everything at Faire, they do an egg hunt sometimes for kids and little things like that. I mean, they'll throw in those extra events for not just themed weekends, but 3-day weekends to really set them apart. And that can be a lot of fun. And, shops can do the same thing with specials, special sales on that particular holiday, or performers can theme shows towards that particular holiday, whether it's a Halloween show kind of thing for Halloween, when you don't normally do that type of thing. I mean, you can approach it that way, and it can really make things interesting. Um, yeah, actually, and I really think that's something that I've actually thought about looking into. That's something that I kind of want to do for Life's a Fair in the future. That is on my list, Damaris, because I think you're right. I think it's a fun idea. I mean, having somebody do a tour like that and be able to see, especially for people who it's their first time, I think that'd be really good. Also, I think it'd be kind of cool for people that do Faire all the time and then they go with their family and their family is new to it, but maybe they don't have the same taste. So they can say, I'm going to put you in the tour and then I'm going to go do my stuff and I'll meet up with you at lunch. And that kind of thing. That can be really good. I think it could be a really good thing. Yeah, that's a good example. Military Appreciation Weekends. And okay, number 2, every moment at Faire is precious. And that's why a 3-day weekend is great. Because it's not just more Faire because, well, at the end of a Faire season, even if you've been doing it like Faire all year round, like some performers do, it's still a bit emotional at the end because you're leaving and you made a lot of friends at that Faire, especially if you've done it for a few years, and it's really rough to leave. So getting that extra day in to hang out with your friends is really a big deal. People who've done Faire for many years, more than 5, 7, 10, they on cast or performers or whatever. After about 5, 7 years, the reason they still do it, for the most part, and I've talked to a lot of them over the years, is because they say that this is where all my friends are, and this is when I get to see them. Because at that point, they've made so many bonds, during rehearsals or during performances or whatever, so many great memories. You have lifelong friends here, and if you quit Faire and you don't do it anymore, you're not going to see them very much. And that's tough. So, yeah. And yeah, Kurt is right. You won't see them till next year too. But if you're working it, you get to see them for a good chunk longer, especially if you're on cast, because rehearsals can last a few months before Faire even starts. And sometimes get-togethers during the year too. Several fairs, mini fairs really, get to have cast and performer get-togethers, sometimes monthly, sometimes quarterly in the off season. And it can be pretty cool. It can be pretty cool. Well, yeah, Drew, I mean, I'm really glad you're around because you make me feel like a newbie, and that's really helpful because lately, the last few years, people keep looking at me and treating me like I'm an expert veteran at Faire, and it still weirds me out because when I started Faire, I knew people that had been doing it. Well, I met people that were doing it had been doing it for decades before that, and some of them are still doing it. So it's really, yeah, I appreciate you being here, Drew. Helps. But yes, very precious, very precious. So, and number 1, the obvious one, like I said, more time with friends, because that's important. I mean, your friends, you just don't get to hang out with them as much as, especially if you're working there. But even if you're just a patron, if you've gone there for several years, you make friends there, and it's a thing. I mean, you are making friends and you see them usually have get-togethers and everything after several years. Sometimes there's groups or clans or whatever that organizations that kind of continue to see each other depending on where you are. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And I really think maybe on one of these shows I should go over the history of Ren Faire. I think y'all might be interested in that. Starting back in the 60s in California when the first Faire started and working towards now and how it's changed over the years and the progress. I think that would, I don't know, I find that interesting. I don't know if you would. Do you think that would be something interesting for a show? It'd probably have to be a bit of a 2-parter because I don't think I could do that in 30 minutes. Maybe. But yeah, it might be interesting if you're curious about the history of Faire, because I don't think many people really know when it started, how it started, the early drama back in the 60s and 70s. And yeah, I've researched that a lot, and it is quite interesting. Yes, Drew, yeah, you're totally right. Okay, so y'all would be interested in that? I will look at doing that. That is, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. So I'll put that together, and that'll be on the short list for the future. Excellent. I know. It is. It is. I always like. I always like history. And I actually, I had some good history for the show tonight, but I'm gonna have to save that for next week now. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll make it work. And now that I've reset my video driver, everything should work well. Of course, now I'm going to be setting up the new, to make sure that nothing goes wrong with that. Now the pressure's really on. I'm going to have to make sure nothing goes wrong next week. I'll do testing. Not that I'm obsessive, but I'll do testing. So anyway, great spending some time with you again because, well, that's what Monday is for me, hanging out with my friends. So always a pleasure and great to see you. And I know, have a fair day and a fair week. But as always, have a fair life. Take care.